Hello, I'm Anna Carugati, the Group Editorial Director of World Screen, and I'm delighted to be here with Gene Simmons.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was being rude. Nice to see you.
Gene, how are you doing?
Thanks for putting me on the cover. I appreciate it. Eat your heart out, Seacrest.
All right, Gene. So, let's start by talking about Busted, which you are doing with E1.
Yes.
Where did the genesis of the show come from? Tell me about the show.
I'm in a band.
Yes.
We're called KISS. We're going to be celebrating our 40th anniversary this coming year. And boy, do I look good. And, what happens on the road is very bizarre because you're trapped with a group of people almost like a band of gypsies. So you're in hotel rooms, you're in buses, you're in jets, and you're forced to sort of live together for months on end. Boredom sets in, so what do? You start pulling pranks on each other. And it struck me that this would make a great show because they're hilarious. The thing about it is, there are layers. Every time you think it's the end, there's another level, another thing. And the most trusted people around you, your girlfriend, your wife, your groupie, your kids, whoever, next layers, then the roadies and so on. So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Now, does anyone ever play any pranks on you, or does it stop there?
They try.
They try. Now, with this particular show, there is the show, and then there's merchandising attached to it, and you've made a big business. A huge business with KISS. You're taking the merchandising rights for this show as well.
I do. I have that. I'm not sure I know what you mean by merchandising and licensing. But yes, I delineate between the shows and the sort of the ancillaries, which is a big word like gymnasium. Because this show will have different versions as well. We're going to do Busted Country because the country folks have their own culture. And you need to put a few things that move under those cowboy hats. We need to really shake it up, and we know how to do it. And I know all the folks there in Nashville, and so they won't see us coming. And sometimes your kids are going to pull the rug out right from under you. And we also have Busted UK, Busted Germany, because the different territories of the world have huge stars in their vicinity. For instance, in Germany, there's Die Totenhosen and Die Ärzte and lots of others. And these are big bands that they're going to get busted.
All right.
In German, in Hungarian, and I speak these languages too.
You do?
Du doch besser in die Maderol, und du kommst zu mit Maderol Sagbor. Und ich kann auch sprechen Deutsch. Ich habe gelernt auf der Schule. וגם כן עברית. השם שלי חיים נולדתי בחיפה. גוגי כן קגה דסקה. וatashi wa Gene Simmons desu. נדוע סייקו דסו. That's 4. There's more.
Oh,
Goodness gracious. Looking more attractive as the time goes by.
Now, Busted is only one of many shows that you're involved with. Tell us a little
Created.
bit about the other. Created.
E1 and I are teamed up on 3 shows. We're doing Sunset Strip as well as, what is the third one we're doing? Oh, I can't tell you the title because we're trademarking it right now. But it's going to include beautiful women. And Electus and I are doing 2 shows together. And Georgeville Reliance and I are doing 2 shows together. Bun and Mary and I are doing 1, and Morningstar and I are doing 1. I mean, it's just ITV and I are doing 1 together. It's a very exciting time because I get to move fast and do things sort of in the same way that a Navy SEAL does. You don't need a big bloated military to sink a battleship. You just need one crazy mofo who doesn't have a battle plan and just gets it done. Navy SEAL.
So are these shows mainly for television distribution, or are you looking also to the internet to do things?
The answer is yes. With Netflix and Amazon and a few other, and Dish and so on, the landscape of distributing is changing drastically. And it should. Let the buyer decide how and when content should come to them. The distribution platforms, and I don't mean the shoes that you wear, see, we need new words. They keep using the same words over and over again. Yeah. Should be decided by the people. And it's a very exciting time because the fees, the licensing fees and the rent-a-model fees and all the business models are changing. They're in flux. Network ratings are going down. Cable ratings are going up. The subscription model does well, but not for everybody. And so it's all in flux, and that's what capitalism is all about. Let the best one with the best business model, with the best content win.
And you're interested right now in playing with all of them?
All of it. For instance, the Reliance Georgeville model is fully funding a show I'm doing called Gene Simmons House of Horrors before we go to the buyer. So it's fully funded for 13 episodes, 50 million at about 4 million plus per episode. Yes, it's
That's
very
not
high
small
end.
change.
Yeah, there's a very good proactive guy named Mark Rosen who's the head of it. It's very impressive. And it's based on my comic book that I put out through Simmons Comics. Good name for a comic book company. Good name for anything.
Simmons.
Love that. It just has that ring.
You mentioned 40 years of Kiss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. We're going out on the second or third leg of the 2-year tour.
What do you think has kept Kiss so, it's been how many generations now? I'm not good at math, but 40 years. What keeps it still so popular and such passionate fans?
Well, Kiss outperforms, we outsell the Beatles and Elvis put together. We have 4,800 licenses, everything from Kiss condoms to Kiss caskets. All together now, we'll get you coming and we'll get you going. And the Kiss Hello Kitty.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about that.
We already do a joint venture with Hello Kitty, which means those little faces, they're lovable and adored by generations of fans, now have Kiss makeup on them. And there's 1,000 new licenses, everything from bed sheets, bedspreads, back to school items. And I just sold the Kiss Hello Kitty show to Hub, which is going to be seen around the world as well, a kitty show.
That's adorable. Speaking of children, they're no longer children. How are your two beautiful children doing?
Nick and Sophie are now both represented by CAA. They're both currently doing their own indie films, separate from each other.
Really?
They sing together, as a matter of fact, in casinos. Nick is in the studio now with Eddie Kramer, who's producing him. Eddie Kramer produced Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, worked with the Beatles, and produced Kiss.
Wow.
And Sophie is writing her own songs in Nashville. They're two extraordinary young people. They happen to be our kids, and Shannon should take all the credit for raising them. I just work here.
On that note.